Pig the Rebel by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, after years of his antics, it was now time to pay. Yes, Pig was condemned to a fate oh so cruel. It was time for the dreaded obedience school. The no-nonsense trainer looked Pig up and down. "I hear you've been naughty," she said with a frown. She listed his crimes, each wretched endeavor. Pig pleaded innocence. "What? Who? Me? Never! Won't share, dishonest, bad sport, bit Santa, show off, refuses to bathe, lazy, culturally insensitive, ruins Halloween." "Hush!" said the trainer. Her manner was gruff. "Once you're done here, you'll behave soon enough." His class was a mixture of various mutts. They all had their issues, some hyper, some nuts. A gallery of rogues, a real motley crew. "What are you in for?" "I'm bonkers. And you?" "Class," roared the trainer, "you will now learn to sit." Something in Pig snapped. He bellowed, "That's it! No school can contain me. Let's bust out of here." His classmates were stunned, but they gave a great cheer. "Follow me, friends," shouted Pig to his posse. "Let's split from this joint and that trainer who's bossy." He mounted his steed and they galloped apace, but his steed lost its footing and fell on its face. Pig found his feet, though, with startling ferocity. He hurled downhill at amazing velocity. He took out a cake stall. Oh, how those cakes flew. He took out the hot dog guy's new barbecue. His escape was a triumph. It really was. Yep. But wait, hang on. What's this? Hey, watch that last step. The gas tank went. The sky filled with fur. It looked like the end. Oh, it sure did. Yes, sir. What happened next? Oh, how ends the book? Do you dare turn the page? Friends, do you dare look? Who could survive an explosion that big? Well, one slightly barbecued, pot-bellied pig. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. You've heard this before, but hey, anyway. His fur all grew back. He did not need a wig. And somehow that blast blew some sense into Pig. It sparked a new wisdom, a new way of living, devoting his future to sharing and giving. I know what you're thinking. He's fooling you, kid. He'll never change. But guess what? He did. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. With love and thanks to all of you. Pig the Monster by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, on Halloween night, he'd get carried away. Hungrily drooling, he'd lurch through the streets, a monstrous rampage for treats, 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 treats! Treats, he would bellow, it's Frankenstein's pup. He'd grab a whole basket and scoop it all up. Treats, he would drool, a zombified bumpkin, and if you resisted, he'd upturn your pumpkin. Yes, if you were stingy, well, Pig would be miffed, and then he'd be vengeful, and vengeance was swift. He'd egg your front door, an egg-hurling dragon, then set about fixing your little red wagon. If Pig felt shortchanged and his hopes had been dented, it filled him with feelings that had to be vented. Terrible tricks would be briskly invented. Shenanigans like this could not be prevented. He ruined the evenings of those he tormented. The scale of his payback was unprecedented. He got satisfaction, he never relented. "Your treats will be mine," he cried, wholly demented. Wild in his triumph, the mummy unhinged. He laid out his plunder and frantically binged. tearing through candy, a gluttonous goblin. He didn't think about what he was gobbling. "Dogs can't eat chocolate," cried someone quite clever. "Dogs choke on chocolate." He's no fool, that Trevor. Pig spluttered foully. "Ah, Wiener, don't nag." Then breathed in that chocolate and started to gag. Quick-thinking Trevor, that wonderful hound, he snatched up Pig's ankles and swung him around. With a whoosh and a whirl, he windmilled that lug, a fast-spinning dachshund, a chocolate-filled pug. And soon enough, all that sugary gloop was loosened up nicely, a warm chocolate soup. "Watch out!" cried Trev, but the crowd was dumbstruck, as gallons of Halloween goo came unstuck. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. Pig's Halloween harvest, a modest buffet. He respects people's homes, and he shares out his booty. His generous spirit, a real thing of beauty. He really is nicer, and much kinder too. An old dog learned new tricks? Well, who'd have thought? Boo! The end. Happy Halloween.
Pig the Star by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, he just loved attention. He'd show off all day. He'd shout, "Look at me! I'm the best! I'm a star!" But then came the day that he took it too far. Yes, Trevor and Pig had a big photo shoot. They wore little costumes. They looked really cute. "Isn't this fun?" giggled Trevor with glee. But Pig pushed right past him and yelled, "Look at me! Aren't I just fabulous? Aren't I divine? Now back off, salami! These costumes are mine!" Yes, Pig ruled the photos. He hogged every shot. He whispered to Trevor, "I'm in and you're not." And then under the lights, as the camera went snap, Pig felt like a rock star and started to rap. "Yo, I'm a star, y'all. Yeah, dog, I'm the best. Now get me a donut, you sausage-shaped pest." But then something happened that changed the whole shoot. The man with the camera said, "That dog is cute. Wow, Trevor's a star." The photographer said. Pig couldn't believe it. And then he saw red. He shrieked, "I'm the star!" and knocked Trevor flat. But Trevor bumped his rocket, and the rocket went splat. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. Pig's dreadful antics have all gone away. He's not such a show-off, he's not such a swine, and although it annoys him, he lets Trevor shine. The end. Thanks for watching. Pig the Winner. Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, if he didn't come first, it would ruin his day. Yes, Pig was a winner, he just had to win, and nothing would stop him. Oh, where to begin? Believe it or not, he was quite hard to beat, and the reason was simple. Yes, Pig was a cheat. But if he did lose, he'd throw a pink fit. He'd scream and he'd cry, and he just wouldn't quit. He'd sob and he'd sulk with a quivering chin, till you gave up and said to him, "Okay, you win." But as soon as you said it, he'd clap and he'd stamp, and he'd rub it in loudly that he was the champ. Trevor would say to him, "Let's just have fun." But Pig would reply, "It ain't fun till I've won." So one night at supper, Pig shouted with glee, "Who can eat faster? I bet that it's me." Trevor said shyly, "I don't want to race." But Pig had yelled, "Go!" and was stuffing his face. He wolfed down his food, he gobbled his kibble. His face was awash with biscuits and dribble. He chomped up 3 sausages, all of them whoppers. Then he munched through his doggy treats, gnashing his chompers. He swallowed it all in a minute or less, but something went wrong. Do you know? Can you guess? Because he was busy stuffing his hole, Pig didn't notice He'd swallowed his bowl. Lucky for Pig, Trevor knew what to do. He squeezed out the bowl before Pig could turn blue. But Pig didn't thank him. He just said, "I win!" Then the bowl bounced right back and knocked Pig in the bin. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. Pig's not the winner each time that they play. He plays to have fun, and his tantrums have ceased. Yes, Trevor can win now. Well, sometimes at least. The end. Thanks for watching. Pig the Stinker by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, his personal hygiene was far from okay. Pig liked to get dirty. He frankly was rank. His paws could be frightful. His fur often stank. He wasn't offended by odor or smell, and if you weren't careful, he'd smell you as well. He'd play with all kinds of unspeakable muck and do things to make you scream, "Don't do that! Yuck!" He leaked out a stench that could not be forgotten. He reeked, he was rancid. In short, he was rotten. So bath time was called. You stinky old mutt, you need a good clean from your ears to your butt. But Pig turned his tail, and before you could grab it, he was out of the room like a foul little rabbit. They chased him, but Pig had a devious knack for ducking and weaving and doubling back. And once he had lost them, he used a small toy to block up the pipes. Then he hooted with joy. By the time they found him, Pig boogied with glee. "You won't get your soapy old water on me!" They watched as Pig gloated. They watched as Pig crowed. They watched as Pig's plan made the bathroom explode. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. If you tell Pig it's bath time, he won't disobey. But although you can wash him with soap, cloth, and towel, there's no getting round it. Pig is just foul. The end. Thanks for watching. Pig the Slob by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, he was shockingly lazy. Such a shameful display. He lived in a flat, horizontal position, which left him in truly appalling condition. Full of candy and soda and thick mozzarella, Pig was a hardcore, full-time sofa dweller. His only exertion was swiping a screen. Swipe, stare, repeat was his grueling routine. Sure, once in a while he would lift a remote, but it made him quite tired, and his ankles would bloat. Flat on his back, he'd relax with a sigh, binging on TV and nuggets and pie. Pig dug in deep. He was part of the couch, an immovable lump with a warm, sticky pouch. Trevor was worried. Pig's health was at risk. "We should take a quick jog or a walk nice and brisk." Pig stirred from his stupor. His reply was quite tart. He simply said no, and then unleashed a fart. "We'd have so much fun, though," cried Trevor once more. It was a suggestion Pig chose to ignore. From a bunker of sloth and with no sense of shame, Pig returned to his ice cream and video game. And that's when they heard it. Trevor stopped in his tracks. "What's groaning?" asked Pig, through a mouthful of snacks. The first groan was subtle. The next one was not. The floorboards were groaning. Yes, groaning a lot. "Could that be my tummy?" asked Pig, blinking slow. Then the floorboards exploded. "Hey, watch out below!" These days it's different, I'm happy to say. Pig makes an effort to come out and play. He's up off the couch doing cartwheels and squats. He practices yoga and goes jogging lots. His workouts are great, but the part he likes best is when he gets home and he can have a nice rest. The end. Thanks for watching. Pig the Pug
by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, he was greedy and selfish in most every way. He lived in a house with a wiener dog, Trevor. But when was he nice to him? I'll tell you, never. You've got some great toys there, poor Trevor would say. But Pig would just grumble, they're mine, go away! But it might be more fun, Trevor said to Pig, if we both played together. Well, Pig flipped his wig. No, they're mine, didn't you hear? Only mine. You keep your paws off them. They are mine, mine, mine. I know what your game is. You want me to share, but I'll never do that. I won't, and I swear. And with that, he proceeded to gather his stuff and make a big pile with a huff and a puff. And once he gathered them up in a pile, he howled from the top with a satisfied smile. There, shouted Pig, now you won't get my loot. It's mine, 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 mine. So why don't you scoot? Just at that moment, poor Trevor did see the pile was wobbling. Oh dear me. Watch out up there, good Trevor did cry. But the shame of it was, well, pugs cannot fly. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. It's so very different in almost every way. Yes, Pig shares his toys now, and Trevor's his friend, and they both play together, while Pig's on the mend. The end. Thanks for watching.
Pig the Elf by Aaron Blabby.
Oh, Christmas Eve, the most merry of nights, the carols, the snowflakes, the small twinkly lights. Santa was coming. 'Twas bigger than big, but no one was feeling more festive than Pig. How he loved Christmas. He'd giggle with glee. The presents, for me, 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 me. He'd written his list, and he'd asked for a lot. But Santa takes orders, so why the heck not? The presents, he screamed out again. When will he get here? Oh, when? Tell me when! He'll come when we sleep, said his lovely friend Trevor. But Pig shouted, sleep? I'll have none whatsoever. Sleep is for fools. Oh yes, sleep is for losers. I won't go to bed with the rest of you snoozers. I'm sitting up late. I'll be here when he comes. I'll declare by these stockings and gingerbread crumbs. So Trevor went dutifully off to his bed, but naughty old Pig stayed up, just like he said. The waiting was endless, but Pig held his ground. Then at 3:33, well, he heard a strange sound. And guess who made that mysterious noise? A portly old gent with a bag full of toys. He piled up some presents marked Trevor and Pig. Then he picked up his milk and he took a big swig. But then, as he turned to go back on his way, a short, cranky dog appeared shouting out, Hey! I asked for more, hollered Pig in dismay, but Santa turned round and then hurried away. Hey! Shouted Pig, sounding very unkind. Then he nipped poor old Santa's big rosy behind. Up through the chimney, out to the sleigh. Pig held on tight. You're not getting away. Don't be a cheapskate. I want all my stuff. The pile you left me is just not enough. But the sleigh took off fast. Gee, those reindeer were speedy. And away fell their guest. Yes, the elf who was greedy. But as Trevor lay dreaming of holiday cheer, a real Christmas miracle happened right here. Yes, Pig must be blessed. He survived that big drop, and he was saved by a tree with an angel on top. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Pig the Tourist by Aaron Blabby. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say, when he went on vacation, he'd cause great dismay. You could make careful plans to ensure happy travel, but Pig would destroy them. He'd make them unravel. With behavior so bad, it's hard to describe. He would dampen your trip, and he'd ruin the vibe. He'd break all the rules, and he'd flaunt all tradition. Causing disaster was Pig's big ambition. Even in places of wild celebration, he'd somehow create absolute devastation. And if he could shatter some ancient taboo, he wouldn't think twice. That appalling Yahoo! Parties, parades, and processions got wrecked in a blizzard of chaos and foul disrespect. His insensitive antics would ruin your stay, till the locals would gather and shout, "Go away!" But that wouldn't stop him. He'd rock Mona Lisa attacked. The Louvre, Paris. Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece was vandalized this morning in a brazen attack by an overweight dog with a tremendous sense of entitlement. Authorities believe he was working alone, but have detained a small dachshund for questioning. Monsieur Baguette of the Louvre security force made the following statement: "I do not like this dog." And he'd roll Tower of Pisa destroyed, till his rollicking horseplay spun out of control. 9 News, chaos at the palace, queen shaken, not stirred. Unbridled and vast was his need to offend, but every wild party must come to an end. Yes, if you treat locals with little regard, they'll come back to bite you. No swimming! Piranha! And boy, they bite hard. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. He's learned not to ruin a whole holiday. But let us be honest, the truth I must tell, although he might try, Pig does not travel well. The end. Thanks for watching.